But what if the truth has been buried for centuries, hidden behind marble walls, locked in silence, sealed by ancient blood oaths? The Vatican, a sovereign city cloaked in holiness and shadow. It is portrayed as the beacon of divine wisdom, the earthly seat of God's will. But what if that sacred exterior is just a facade, a beautiful disguise covering one of the most impenetrable institutions of secrecy, manipulation, and ancient power the world has ever known? Beneath its golden ceilings and echoing cathedrals lies something far more sinister than most dare to imagine. Miles of hidden documents, forbidden rituals, knowledge so dangerous it has remained sealed away for hundreds of years, not to protect the faithful, but to protect the system. Tonight, we lift the veil on the Vatican's darkest secrets. What are they hiding? Why have they spent centuries guarding these mysteries? And what happens to those who try to uncover the truth? Welcome to Doom Theory. Few know that beneath Vatican City lies a vast underground complex. Not catacombs for saints, but a secret archive, Archivum Secretum Apostolicum Vaticanum. Its very name causes confusion. Some say secret merely means private, but that's a clever distraction. This archive is anything but innocent. It stretches over 50 miles of shelves, housing over 35,000 volumes of forbidden knowledge. Only a handful of people have access, and they are sworn to silence. Not even popes speak of what's inside. According to leaked accounts from former insiders, most of whom quickly vanish into obscurity, the archives contain ancient documents that contradict official church teachings, letters from early church fathers debating the divinity of Christ, lost gospels banned by imperial decree, astrological charts used by popes, even transcripts of exorcisms so disturbing they were classified by papal order. But the archive is more than dusty books. Deep underground, vaults are said to house relics that defy natural law. There are rumors of devices created by early mystics that allow communication with other planes. Some whisper of a mirror that shows your soul, or an orb used to summon entities from the outer darkness. And then there's the alleged Chronovisor, a device reportedly built in the 1950s by a Benedictine monk and scientists under Vatican authority. This machine, it said, could see into the past, and possibly the future. Some claim it was used to witness the crucifixion of Christ. Others believe it proved events the church didn't want to acknowledge, such as a pre-human civilization wiped out by a cosmic war. If such a machine exists, it would rewrite history and destroy the church's monopoly on truth. Is that why it was hidden? The Vatican isn't just a spiritual power. It's a political empire, and with that power comes compromise, corruption, and blood. Over centuries, the church has signed secret treaties, bankrolled regimes, and protected war criminals, all in the name of preserving its influence. Declassified. Documents confirm that Nazi leaders were funneled through Vatican corridors after World War II, given false passports, and sent to safety in South America. Operation Paperclip, the CIA and the Vatican all intersect in a tangle of shadowy alliances. Why would the church protect murderers? Because knowledge is leverage. Because a secret kept is a debt owed. And because some of those Nazis had uncovered something in the Middle East in ancient ruins that terrified the Vatican. Some say it was a tablet inscribed in a language older than Sumerian that revealed the origins of humanity, not as children of God, but as creations of a cosmic experiment. The church's wealth is equally veiled in mystery. With gold reserves rivaling nations and assets hidden across offshore accounts, the Vatican Bank has been at the center of scandals involving the mafia, collapsed institutions, and even unexplained deaths of high-ranking cardinals found hanged or poisoned, declared suicides, of course. In the shadows, power isn't earned. It's taken, maintained, enforced by ancient codes, And behind every papal blessing, could there be a curse? What if the Bible you know is incomplete by design? Within the Vatican's vaults lie texts that were deliberately erased from history. Gospels attributed to Mary Magdalene, Thomas, and Judas, each presenting a radically different Jesus. A Jesus who teaches reincarnation, divine feminine energy, and direct access to the divine without priests or institutions. Why were these Gospels banned? Because they threatened the foundation of control. The Council of Nicaea, convened in 325 AD, was not a divine gathering, but a political one. Under Emperor Constantine, bishops selected which texts would be canonized. Others were deemed heretical and burned. The divine message was edited, like a script rewritten for a new audience, and those edits continue today. The modern Bible has over 40 known translations, with critical verses altered or removed. In some ancient versions, Satan is not the enemy, but the tester, the awakener. In others, God is depicted as a being of dual nature, capable of both immense light and destructive wrath. One hidden text, discovered in the Egyptian desert in 1945, describes the world as a prison, and Earth as a training ground for the soul, overseen by archons, non-human rulers who feed on spiritual ignorance. These are not just dusty myths. These are spiritual atomic bombs, and the Church has done everything in its power to keep them buried. Walk through St. Peter's Basilica with your eyes open, and you'll see it, hidden in plain sight. Symbols not of Christ, but of something far older: obelisks, sun wheels, pine cones, labyrinthine designs, all borrowed from pagan and mystery traditions. Why would the holiest site of Christianity incorporate Babylonian, Egyptian, and Roman occult architecture? Because the Vatican is not just a Christian temple, it is a synthesis of ancient power systems repackaged for a new age. Some ex-priests have come forward at great personal risk, claiming to have witnessed or been coerced into participating in secret ceremonies held beneath the Vatican at night. They describe rooms carved into stone, filled with incense, chanting in unknown tongues, and symbols drawn in ash. Some speak of a black altar, and of presiding figures whose eyes were not human. Are these just delusions, or echoes of an ancient priesthood that never died, only changed its costume? The Vatican's fascination with exorcism is also telling. Why so many rituals? Why train thousands of exorcists across the globe? What do they know about the veil between worlds that we don't? Some say they're not just fighting demons, but keeping something sealed away, something that, if unleashed, would rip open the illusion we call reality. What if the greatest secret the Vatican holds is about you? According to some suppressed Gospels and esoteric writings, human beings are not fallen, broken creatures in need of salvation, but divine sparks trapped in a material illusion. The true path isn't obedience, it's remembrance of who we really are, of where we come from. The Church, then, becomes not a bridge to God, but a gatekeeper, a filter, ensuring that only certain truths reach the masses, that only the obedient are rewarded. That awakening is punished, labeled heresy or madness. Why? Because an awakened human cannot be controlled. Because a being who remembers its own divinity needs no priest, no doctrine, no hierarchy. And so the war begins, not with weapons, but with information. Burn the books, kill the mystics, rebrand the old gods, rewrite the script so completely that no one remembers the original story, but fragments remain, hidden in ancient texts, channeled in dreams, whispered in forbidden circles. And those fragments point to a terrifying truth. We are not who we've been told we are. And the Vatican may be the chief architect of the illusion. So now you know. The Vatican, an institution billions revere, is far more than robes and rituals. It is a fortress of knowledge, a guardian of secrets. a gate between dimensions. What lies in its underground chambers, behind locked doors and coded manuscripts, is more than history. It's a map to our forgotten origins, and perhaps our future destiny. But to follow that map, you must break free from the illusion, question everything. Seek what they buried, because the deeper you dig, the clearer it becomes. They didn't hide these secrets to protect us from them. They hid them to protect themselves from us. If this truth disturbs you, good. It means the veil is starting to lift. This was doom theory, and now you must ask yourself, what else are they hiding?